I love that music. Welcome to September. And also, welcome to my stream. I'm Rain Leander. This morning, I'm doing open source, and we're going to take a look at Packet. And it's Packet. The company is initiating this project, but we are asking several different repos, both internally and externally, to us to join in our minimum standards project. And so I'm going to talk about that project. And if you want to comment, we are streaming on Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Go over to those 3 platforms, find my link, and you can comment as we are going today. This is my first stream. Oh, look at that logo. That does not work with the placement of, let's just make that bigger, shall we? And then do that. Okay, slightly better. Okay, that's a better logo. Yay. Can you tell I added a few things? Every month I change the music, the branding, pictures, and the intro outro videos. I'm super excited about this month's music and whatnot. Clapping and Stomping by, I think it's Steven. It's in the outro. I always credit the music in the outro video going out. Okay, so you'll see you'll see at the end of this stream. Okay, so what we're working on. This repo that I have up, the sharing, is, I should probably click over to banners. Post your comments here. Bam. Okay, so what we're working on today, now that I've made my screen smaller, is that even big enough? Can you see that? Or should I make it bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller? You know, this is a great game. Okay, so this project, I've kind of put, let's context. Okay, so Packet's been around for 5-6 years and was recently bought by Equinix, and basically it works in a very fast kind of development cycle. If customers need something, the engineers just jump in, start coding, and make it open source and public as soon as possible. We do have internal projects, of course, that help make the system run and whatnot, but for the most part, a lot of repos are public. And because different engineers have different backgrounds, maybe less open source experience, maybe the README is not at the top of their mind when they're initializing that repo. There's a lot of mess, which is fine because we have people like me who have come along. And initially we were like, okay, we're very interested in the, let me get the right screen, packet.com/developers. By the way, I am a developer advocate with Packet. I am particularly passionate about advocating on behalf of the developer within the company, and also on behalf of the company with the developer community. I'm particularly interested in hearing feedback. If you've had an experience with Packet and you want to change, you want a feature request, you found a bug, let me know, please. You can contact me here. You can also email me, rain@packet.com. That's right. That's my email address, live and on the stream, rain@packet.com. So on this page, there's a particular page called integrations. And these are different, like the API, the Terraform tool. There's a couple of different integrations repositories that we were like, you know what, those repos they could be better. Some of them had a brilliant README with a careful tutorial how to build and package your app locally. Some of them had the license, the open source license, but then we're missing like a release file, or had never been deployed, or wasn't using CICD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, or continuous development practices. Things were missing there was an inconsistency. And consistency is the name of the game. When you come to a repository for the first time, you're going to assume that repository is a reflection of the foundation or the company that originally started it. And that can be bad if your repository is a mess, if it doesn't have a COC, it doesn't feel like a safe place to contribute. How do you get help? How do you file an issue? How do you request a feature? Stuff like that. And so we wanted to be very clear about a few things on both our experimental and our maintained repositories. Maintained would be repositories that we stand behind, that have gone through extensive testing, that we fully support, that you're welcome to use in production, whereas experimental has not been as well tested, support may be dropped at any time, or only be best effort. And we do not recommend you use it in production. So it's a pretty clear difference. But what makes a repository maintained? What standards are needed for a maintained repository versus a standard repository, or not a standard? See, right on my screen below the camera, I see packet host standards. So standard is on my brain. But what makes a repository? What are the requirements for maintained versus experimental? Let's find out. So, and we put this is entirely online. A good banner for today would be this. Can we add? Yes, we can. Okay. So this repository is the main one we're talking about today. We've put all of this online so that if you want to help, if you want to read, if you're inspired to apply these standards to your repository, that's awesome. This is basically what we're saying at Packet. We want our repositories to have, both internally or externally with Packet Host, with Packet Labs, with Tinkerbell, which is a project we started but would love for the community to take off and blast to the stars, and with our partners as well. Now, we're not saying our partners are doing it wrong. We're just saying we want a certain level of organization, a certain level of consistency. So with our Packet Host and Packet Labs, it's very easy. We have that access, we can do it. But with our partners, we request that they come along. And from what I've seen so far, yeah, a lot of partners are already there. And so we're the ones that were a little bit behind. And that's kind of nice to see. So we are inspired by our partners as well. So this is the repository within the README. I've gone ahead and made this repository a maintained level repo. So that means that it has a maintained badge, which is this stability maintained. It means it has a link to the maintained statement, which says that it's supported, ready for production, It's got a support statement on how to get help, and it's got a lead into contributions, because collaboration is one of the most important things for me. I put that at the top of this repo. Then we have an introduction about uniform standards and where we were coming from. Basically, that we maintain a bunch of public repositories. I know you can read. I'll read it really fast. And it was at various levels of completion. And so we didn't want developers coming, seeing these low quality repos and thinking that that's how Packet is. for the whole part. Many of them are put online with no communication, no marketing, no training for customer success. And that means that when you go to support might not even know this repo is available online, and therefore have to do training themselves and be learning along with the customer. That's not ideal. So because of that, a lot of time is spent doing the support side of things, doing the training side of things. And frankly, that could be eliminated if we had that training, that information already in place as a site went live, as a repo went live. So we have 3 tiers of repositories: private, and experimental, and maintained. I have a secret. We actually have 4 levels of 4 tiers of repositories, and it's one that came to light over the course of analyzing all the repos. We have a repo called End of Life, and I still need to document it. Sorry. If you would like to help with that, you could start the pull request. But basically, the End of Life is a repository that we have worked on, decided it wasn't the direction we wanted to go. Like either it wasn't stable, it wasn't working, or maybe it's deprecated. Maybe we only filed it because we were actually doing a pull request on another repo, so it's a fork that had to stay open for a while because the pull wasn't accepted on the other side. For whatever reason, we have a bunch of archives that we have a bunch of repositories that instead of deleting, we have chosen to leave public and archive. And they aren't flagged as end of life. There's no kind of badge or statement to say, this is, the archive statement is there. The repository is read only, but if you stumbled across it, you might not know the history behind it, might not know for sure that this is not something to be used. So we're going to put that statement on our end of life repositories as well, just to be clear. But when I wrote this up, it didn't exist yet, but it will. It's coming. So basically, we would like our repositories to be the example of what to do instead of the example of what not to do. And that's what we're doing here. Of course, every project's different, so templating this is very difficult, but what we did basically is we ended up putting requirements together for each repository, and I'll go into that in a second. But I went ahead and I also put the exact process we're using because I feel strongly about working out in the open, online, making sure people can see what you're doing, making sure that you're doing it right, and that if someone sees that you're doing something that's not quite right, they can let you know. They can give you that feedback. They can help you out. So a repository is reviewed. Really, I should say our repository is reviewed, not by packet. It doesn't have to be by packet. But this is what we did. We did a massive review of, I had to get 4, whoa, there's some magpies just outside the window fighting. Did you hear that? It was very loud. Okay. So the repository is reviewed by packet. I pulled together 4 spreadsheets that had been to this end wanting to audit the GitHub repositories and put them into one spreadsheet and saw exactly where different people had determined stages where, for example, this audit had been done in the fall and of 2019, except that the end steps of actually archiving or deleting or updating repos was set for March 26th or something of this year, but basically late March. And then COVID happened. So the end of the audit never happened. And basically, I had to take that spreadsheet. There was a consultant spreadsheet. There was someone over in DevRel Engineering that had started doing the audit, and I put them all into one massive spreadsheet and then audited it. So when I say the repository is reviewed by packet, I mean the repository could be reviewed by anyone, but that's what we did so far. That is over here. So, oh, is that interrupt? Yeah, it totally comes up, doesn't it? Let's, yeah, it won't come up. There we go. Okay. So I did maintained, experimental, private, end of life, and then there were some that weren't repos, but more partnerships, and I just wanted to make sure they got handed off. The maintained, we went through and we prioritized some of the repos to get done by the end of Q3. This is Q3 right now. The end of September is the end of Q3. Wait, yes. Math is hard. And so these have all been done. But what I was thinking I would do today is actually go through and do the issue polls on the experimentals that we've prioritized for Q3. So I've already reviewed these repos, determined that they should be at least experimental. So step 1 is done. Maintained repositories are moved to Packet Host. Experimental repositories are moved to Packet Labs. I think there might be one Packet Labs or Packet Host in here. Oh, there's a few. Ooh. We get to move repos. Look at that one. That's a Packet Host link. That should be in Packet Labs. Okay, so we're going to move repos today. No problem. This is fine. This is fine. This will be fine. Okay, an issue is filed on the repository using the maintained issue template or the experimental issue template, which creates a checklist directly on the repository. Work is completed via pull requests. You can track the progress on Packet Host or Packet Labs. Actually, I also added a Tinkerbell automated Kanban as well. Yes. What day is today? Wednesday. I did that on Monday. Friday? Yeah. What day is it? Okay. So first of all, let me show you a couple of things. So we're working on this today. This is the experimental issue template. It is better. I find that I work most efficiently if I work from the raw page. And the reason for this is that I can then copy and paste the markdown directly into the markdown of the issue that I'm pulling. I also find that I do better if I have one window open. Oh, that's super tiny. You can't see. Oh, that's too big. There. And also I'm just going to do this. You don't need to see me. All right. So what I'm going to do is open up the first repo. And then I'm going to put it over here in its own side. And the reason I do that is because of the issue itself. I open it twice. Oh, JK. Open it twice. Yay! Okay. What are you? Oh, yeah, you can close. Okay. So I use the left side. Is it left for you? Yes, it is. I use the left side to actually audit the project. And then I use the right side to do the issue. So the first thing, I'm going to look through and see whether or not any issues already cover the issue that I'm pulling. So it looks like there's a CICD that already exists, a CICD request. So I'm actually going to open that so that I can copy the link later. And then, okay, and then nothing else have to do with my requirements. Oh, I didn't even go over the requirements. Okay, so an experimental issue. This is the informational requirements. There's the experimental badge. There's the experimental getting started tutorial of some kind. This could be getting started with just packaging the project. This could be getting started with actually using the project, first few steps. All projects need a README. All open source projects have to have an open source license. This is required. If you don't have an open source license, but your project is online, it is not open sourced. The license makes it open source. It is by default copyright. We believe there needs to be a testing CICD, which was that issue that I linked on the right. The owners.md, the owners or code owners file, this is a file where you can actually see who the lead maintainers are. If there's a special, like this person is for reviewing JavaScript, this person reviews Go, this person reviews Python, or this person's in charge of the networking functionality. This person is in charge if you can't get help and need help in an emergency, stuff like that. The developer certificate of origin, actually that is, did I link it correctly? I did. Okay. This is, I did. So there's a glossary for all of these within our standards repo, but the developer certificate of origin, it's about pull requests, and it makes sure that you are consciously putting a line in your contribution that says that you sign off on this pull. And it's so that you have a certain level of responsibility, and that you are, that you're saying this statement every time you put a signed off, you are agreeing to these 4 texts. So the contribution was created in whole or in part by me, and it is under an open source license indicated in the file. The contribution is based on previous works that were covered under an appropriate open source license. I have the right to submit this work. The contribution was provided directly to me by some other person who's certified 1, 2, or 3, and I have not modified it. I understand and agree that this project and the contribution are public, and the record of contribution is maintained indefinitely and may be redistributed consistent with this project or the open source licenses involved. You're basically saying, I'm not scamming you. So it basically says signed off. There's a way to permanently have the sign off by adding -s within a GitHub commit. And I'll show you how it's done within the web. It's a little bit different. I'll record a video for that and make it available. But DCO, it's a little shift for some people in process, but it's very much worth it, because you're guaranteeing a certain standard. So that's the DCO. And then we are asking that an experimental repo has at least 1 maintainer. And by this, we mean, every repo has 1 maintainer. But when was the last time they touched it? Are they still with the company? Are they still doing updates? And we're pretty loose with experimental requirements. Maybe that maintainer opened this a year ago and hasn't touched it since. Well, getting these other factors in place will determine whether or not that single maintainer is still active or not. Frankly, there are projects that are built up and then kind of used for other larger projects but are completely inactive and not updated because they just work or they work well enough or whatnot. So just because a system or a repository is not actively maintained, getting updates every day, doesn't mean it's completely inactive. So that one's a little bit meh. The reason we put it in with experimental is because with maintained, we want to have at least 2 maintainers. And that's because, first of all, you don't want to create a situation where all this pressure comes down on just one person, right? You want to have at least 2 people to share the burden, but also if one person is hit by a bus, that's it for your project, right? Especially if you don't have the other requirements for a maintained, like the manifest file or the release statements and release documents that help someone who has never come to your project get up to date very quickly. Okay, so we've gone over that. We're going to pull an issue over here with Packet Labs, Google Anthos. First of all, it is in the Packet Labs repository already, so it does not need to move. We're just going to go ahead and pull a new issue. Pull a new issue. File a new issue, Leander. Okay. Okay, there's no template on this repository, which is fine. It makes my job a lot easier because I can just do this. And you'll notice that it brings it over a little funkily. But check this out. When we actually file the issue, it'll come through much prettier. This is the Packet Labs Repository Standards Automated Kanban. So I add it to that project. And then I'm going to check out the labels and add 3 labels that I already know. Take a little bit more time. There's no milestone associated. There's no pull requests. I do, though, want to make it clear that I saw that 91 is already under, the CICD is already under it's already in progress on another issue. So I'm specifically crossing it out and indicating that this issue already exists. Okay, once you submit the new issue, it shows up, it's all pretty. And look, the CICD is already crossed out. The 91 already shows up right there. So you know that's already pulled. But this is why I have it open in 2 windows. Because right now I'm going to go through and actually check mark off what already exists in the repo itself so that people know, okay, this person already went through and made sure that these are the missing things. You know that when you go in, you only need to do the things that are unchecked. So there's definitely a README, which is great. I love it when the minimum, when the README exists. Good. Okay. I'm not going through to audit this repo to see if it works. I'm just going through quickly to make sure that if I wanted to see if it worked, it would. This is this is much faster than the other day when I went through the OpenStack on Packet repo and actually looked for grammatical errors, made sure that it made sense. This is a much faster audit. So I see that it basically gives me an about. Love the graphic. Thank you. See, this is exactly why this this repo is in experimental. It's not meant for production purposes. It's got a communication place. It's also got a support. So the supported bit, if that was a requirement for experimental, is in there, but it's not. It's got the latest updates in a release within the README. If this was going to go to maintained, we would probably ask for that to be a more scalably put into its own file. Here's the prerequisites for building it. Oh, I love that this is here, just in case you know that it costs. And then how to actually set it up, the store, download the GCP. Yep. Install Terraform. Awesome. Download this project from Git. Initialize Terraform. Awesome. Actually change your variables. Oh, this is very thorough README. I love it. So I would say the getting started tutorial is definitely here. It's even got beyond, look, it's even got beyond getting started. That's so cool. And then even if you use a bigger one, oh, this is such a good README. So this README is really above and beyond for an experimental repository. I'm loving it. It even has troubleshooting. What? Love it. Okay, cool. All right, so we've got, now we're looking for a license. Oh, and we have a license, and it's Apache. Good. Okay. I find that the owners is usually missing. Sometimes the owners is under .gitignore file or folder, and then the code owners might be there, but I don't see it. So we're going to assume it's not there, and I definitely don't see the DCO. It's a file that actually says DCO. Let me show you on here. So our owners is literally called an owners.md. Sorry, not the .gitignore, but the code owners is sometimes in this folder. And the DCO. Oh, you know what? It's under an action. Wait. I could have sworn the DCO was its own file. Maybe not. Huh. But I can see it in a pull request. The DCO is not here, y'all. Oh, wait, checks. DCO. There we go. Okay. So that tells me I actually need to go into the pull request to see whether or not there's a DCO. And the checks. So that's actually convenient. CI has not been set up, but it is being. And there's no DCO. So we definitely need to leave that blank. That means that we still need for this repo a developer certificate of origin, owners, and the experimental badge and statement, which is not bad. and the CICD is being worked on in another repo. Now, here's what's cool about the Kanbans, the automated Kanbans, is that we have in Packet Labs set up a project that is it public? Let's check the settings. Oh, public. Okay, now it's public. Mubby. Here it is, Google Anthos. So this automated Kanban, because we added it to the project when we pulled the issue, the Kanban is already showing up over here, and it already even has the checklist like checked off over here. Like if we added the check mark over here, this changes to 5. Isn't that sweet? I love it. Much easier to keep track of. It goes back away. Boom, boom. So cool. Okay. And then as we work on it, we just move it into the in progress versus to do. And then as it's closed, it actually pops over to done. And this is so that we can look and see the progress of our project very easily. But I love that. So I'm going to close this. What I do is I leave this open because it kind of feels good to have all of the ones that I've pulled as the day progresses. I get more and more tabs on the right side, and it feels awesome. I also add the issue over here. And that's just so that I have a single place if someone doesn't have. This is me being a little toothy about, where's my, because my spreadsheet is so small, that's hidden. Okay. So yeah, so that's one done. Let's do Tanzu. Bam. I think Tanzu actually, we might already have pulled stuff. Okay. Oops. Yeah. We actually don't really need this open because I have the raw file open, and that's the DCO. Yep. So we can close that. I might have a slight obsession with closing tabs. I sometimes feel self-conscious about it, that I'm not a real engineer, I will admit. But then I see like a friend shares their screen and I see all the tabs and I feel like throwing up. And then I'm like, you know what? I would rather have this feeling of being a fake engineer than to feel like throwing up. No pressure. Okay. So Tanzu issues. We also have the CICD here. So we're going to make sure we copy it. Issue number 3. Oh, this is a very, very young repo. This could also change. Maybe we should put something about the about. Something in the about should be added. Like just this first line. Bam. Super fast. So let's do this. Okay. So is a uniform standards request for experimental repos. Finish your words, re-enter. All right. Copy and paste. We change the CICD so that they know that we know that they know that we know that they know. I lost my place. There we go. Add it to the project. Bamf, 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 bamf. So, there's no license on this one. So we know. Okay, so we know we've got our work cut out for us. Okay. It's okay. PR is welcome. I love that badge. Okay. So there's an about. There's prerequisites. Awesome. Awesome. Actual packet cost. Install Terraform, initialize it, use an S3 object store, modify your variables, deploy the vSphere cluster, vSphere license management, awesome. Actually deploy Kubernetes, connect via VPN, connect the clusters, connect vCenter, awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I love it. Always clean up your environment, clean up after yourself. Your mom doesn't work here. So cool. Troubleshooting, love it when there's a troubleshooting section. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, cool. So the README is really good. And it includes the getting started tutorial. Getting started tutorial. There is no license. The CICD is coming. There is no owners. I am pretty sure. No, that's not what I. Pull requests. You check it out to look for the DCO. There's no DCO. There's only Zul, at least one maintainer. Actually, I'm really happy to see there are two maintainers. That is Makai and Joseph. And CICD is crossed out. Cool, cool, cool. We're done. Bamf. I don't know where Bamf is coming from either. All right, done. We've done 2. We're on. This is pretty much, by the way, what we're doing for the rest of this stream is just going through. Okay, so here's a partner one. So with the partner ones, I actually still file an issue, et cetera, but then in order to track it, I put it into a Jira ticket. So it's a little bit different. Do we want to do that, or do we want to just do all the Packet Labs ones first? I kind of want to go through and do the Packet Labs ones first. There's another partner, Kubernetes B2B Packet Labs. And open it in 2 places. Choose. Ooh, this one's going to have a lot of stuff missing. Beep. Experimental. Add it to the project. Documentation isn't in here. Create new label. Documentation. Bam. All right, it's a new issue. Now we do an audit. Okay. Okay, at least it's got a README. Kubernetes on Packet. Okay, a single facility. Operating system made with Ubuntu. TLDR is this. Is that really the TLDR? Cluster of 3, 1 master, 2 worker nodes, and a lot of units. It doesn't have the requirements. It doesn't have information for installing Terraform. It is a Terraform script. It's pretty clear about this. Maybe it goes into details in the extended version. All right, network topology. Kubeadmin. This tutorial could be better. Okay, I think I'm gonna have, oh, cool. Cool. So this tutorial, I'm not gonna give a check mark on. It could use help. It's missing a license. I think it's safe to say that there's no CICD, but we can always check. Nope. There's definitely, I wasn't actually paying attention. Is there an owners? Owners. No. Is there a DCO? There was not. There is at least one maintainer, which seems kind of silly as a requirement, but you'd be surprised. We're basically just looking to see when the last update was. If it's less than a year, we're going to look at it a little closer. Okay, so that's done. Don't forget to record that in the right spot. I'm putting all of my OOTDs on display here. And this, like the changing the link to an X in order to take up as little space within the spreadsheet. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, this looks awesome. Okay, let's pull the. I have one person viewing, one on all three live, but I wonder where they're viewing from. Where are you viewing from, single viewer? Is it YouTube? Is it Periscope, Twitter? Or is it Twitch? Right. Bloop. All right, now we're going to audit. It does technically have a README. Let's see if it helps me get started. Welcome to the Rook on Bare Metal Workshop. I love it. This hands-on workshop takes you through. Oh, water. About to cough. Yum. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love this line. If at any time you break your environment or otherwise get stuck, don't panic. That's awesome. Oh, dude, that's so cool. You can totally go on YouTube, and this was done for Cephalcon 2019. That's badass. Awesome. Okay. Student prereqs. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I might have to do this for the next hack. Requirements. Ooh. Okay, so it's not getting started, but all in the README. Pardon. But it is going through the labs. Awesome. Apparently no. This is the part in the stream where I get the hiccups and burp ups. Oh, that's so cool. I don't see this setup. Oh, in this setup README. Oh, that's so cool. Oh. Y'all, do you want me to run a workshop? This is awesome. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, the getting started tutorial is very nice. I don't think there's a license. We really need to get the license going. Let's check for CICD and DCO. Nope. Can also check the checks, which are 0. Dun, dun, dun. No CICD. Nope, no owners, no DCO, definitely at least one maintainer. The last time it was updated was in March. So that's not bad. So you definitely want to get a license on here. You want to see how easy it is to get a license on here? Ta-da. License added. Bam. I added a license. Okay. So that's done. Bam. A lot of these that are experimental are simply experimental because no. when did this happen? Oh, like last year. Okay, so this one actually at some point was archived. Can I see that in the action? Nope. It actually has, oh, it has ancient readmes, ancient issue things open. So this is actually archived. So this should actually be in the end of life. So we're going to change. Oh, but it's prioritized. It was prioritized and reviewed. So that means that somebody reviewed this at some point, might have been me, and decided that they wanted it to be experimental instead of end of life. So I am going to unarchive this, which feels really weird. Unarchive. Could we just take a minute here? So like, as part of this project, a couple of colleagues and I, we were made owners of Packet Host and Packet Labs. And that is, with great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. And like every once in a while, like when I change a repository from archived to unarchived, or if I move a repository from Packet Labs to Packet Host or vice versa, it's stressful, like really stressful. Like I have no problems doing that on my GitHub stuff on, github.com/RainLeander. No problem. Delete, archive, unarchived, great. But like, I just got this access granted last week. And every time I'm like, yeah, it's a little stressful. Yeah, it's a little stressful. So let's go back. So we've unarchived. No big deal. No big deal. It's fine. This is fine. This is all fine. And you hear the shakiness in my voice. I'm like, okay. All right. So let's do this. Okay. Now I have got a description. So it does have a README. The description is missing. Oh, no, it's right there. This is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I would actually say this is, oh, okay. I'm going to talk to Ed and see what his thoughts are. I'm going to say, All right. I've got this flummy thing going on. It's really sexy, I know. All right, so I'm actually not going to put a check mark next to at least one maintainer because the last time this was updated was July 2019. So we need to see who's actually going to be taking responsibility for building out these requests. The getting started tutorial is sparse, but it is technically there. It just could be better. So we'll leave it. We are going to add the license. Haha, see, this actually shows you stuff. By doing this pull, I can already see that there's no DCO and no CI. Oh, I wanted to show you something. When you are updating a repo via the browser, the email address is actually not the same email address that you would use from command line. And you can find it's going to be the same thing. Your user account at users.noreply.github.com. And that's one of the reasons why I keep this open over here is the standards repo has DCO set up and I was doing a lot of updates. And so I was just keeping this open in my console while I was updating via browser. I once did all my GitHub updates via command line or and then sporadically using the GitHub app. But a friend of mine, she was like, is the GitHub command line easy to use? Like, really? And I was like, it does have a bit of a ramp up. She's like, if people can't do a quick update via the browser, via clicky, they tend not to do it if it's a new technology. And I was like, you know what, that's valid. And so I've kind of got to where I try to do an implementation or learn a new technology from the easiest base. And then if I want or need to get more complicated, start using command line or advanced technology layering, then I will. But for now, especially when I'm doing a stream, I demonstrate with the browser because I feel like if you're coming to me for the first time and you've never touched GitHub, you'll be less intimidated by what I'm doing with the browser than if I was doing CLI. And if you are coming to me and you've done GitHub, you already know how to do CLI or browser stuff. So, bam, it has a license. Ooh, merge pull request, confirm merge. Words are hard. Okay, delete branch. So now this has a license. We know it doesn't have owners. We know it doesn't have DCO. We know it doesn't have CICD. So this is done. Dun, dun, dun. Is this what we're doing? OpenStack Kubernetes TF? Yes. Okay. And we have time for 2 more. Maybe. No open issues. Let's fix that. Projects. Labels. Ta-da! Bum, bum, bum. All right. Hey, it's John Studaris. Hello. The last time it was updated was 2019 last year. Oh, I love this. Okay, so obviously we have a README. We do not have a license, but I'm going to add one right now. By the way, I did the DCO example wrong. The actual sign off should be here in the initial commit message. I should make this bigger. My bad. Boop. Hey, you've got a license, little buddy. CICD, owners, DCO. I'm not going to check at least one maintainer because it was me. But this looks cool. It's got prerequisites. Let's download the repo, set up packet account details, deploy lab hosts, log on to the lab, setting up Minikube. Love it that there's an intro to setting up Minikube. Oh, love. Nested investment kata, naming kata. Oh, getting started tutorial is sick. You are amazing. Okay, so there we have it. Might have to play with this one too. Just saying, that look cool. Okay, bam. It's only the second issue that has ever been filed on this repository. Okay. OpenStack Unpacket. Shout out to OpenStack Unpacker. Wow, that was not well pronunciated. Cool. So now we're forgetting how to speak English. Oh, so we totally played with this. Nova Console command not found. We played with this, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? John looked into this and looks like it's no longer needed. It's been deprecated. So, where is this? It should probably be removed from, like, this should be completely removed. Maybe. I'm going to talk to John about it. We'll see. We'll play with it. That is not our focus today. Focus, Leander. Okay. But anyway, so the issues are I don't know why I have to think about that every single time. Hey, documentation is here. You know what? I want to make sure. Okay, good. That's already there. All right. We got to Readme. What? The Readme added a Twitch feed? What? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, but it's gone, I think, because videos are deleted after 10 days. So eventually, yeah, after 14 days, actually, I want to say that this will be deleted soon. So we better update this to the YouTube feed, which is right here. Don't play. So we will Packet Labs. So we're gonna edit a little while we're here. No problem. On YouTube. There we go. Okay. And then do our DCO. Side quest. Okay. So it is 10:50. We are going to run this issue. It has an amazing README and getting started guide. Does it have a license? Did I really miss? No license? Oh. All right, so it's got a license. No CICD, no owners. No DCO, at least one maintainer. Actually, John and I have been working on this more recently. So that counts. And we're good. Do we have time for one more? We have time for one more. Drone. Okay. Right. But these drone ones, I need to talk to core engineering about whether or not we're actually going to move it to experimental or keep it in packet or keep it in maintained. And then we have Vagrant, which actually does need to be moved to Packet Labs. This is one of the things, right? That theoretically needs to move. Let me read the notes on this. No notes. It's supposed to be moved. Okay. But it's a 1-0, not a 0-1. That means it's sort of not as high priority. I am not going to move this live. I am going to get a double ack on this one. I can, however, make sure that all my stuff showed up. This is OpenStack. Yep, everything showed up. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pulls today. What? And by pulls, I mean actual. We filed 7 issues. We actually did like 3, 4 pulls for licenses. Feels pretty good. This is just a habit of mine. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Is I always like to see how 23 contributions feels pretty good. All right. So I still have a couple of partner polls, a couple of packet hosts that I need to confirm. That's a partner poll. But it's not bad. Oh, wait. And then I have 3 more down here. Right. Do we have time for one more? We do. Let's do one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. I'll look at the issues. I'm already happy to see that there's a license on there. Okay, to the project. Add the labels. Ooh, check out that color. Love it. Purple is my jam. Hello and welcome to the stream. We are going offline in 7 minutes. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Securing bare metal. We have a license. We have a README. Hello. Good morning. Okay, good morning. There we go. Securing bare metal, zero trust. Ooh, this one looks interesting too. Looking good. Oh, okay. We're missing a couple of things, but it does have a data walkthrough. It's got the different steps. You know, it's got some stuff. Got some stuff. We'll say that getting started. You know, it's on the right side. The owners is not there. Let's go ahead and check out our pull request. Ooh. That has no checks. Okay, so it doesn't have DCO. When was the last time something was merged? July last year, so not even one maintainer. This is one that has, It's missing its love. Do we have time for one more? How about now? How about now? How about now? Apparently we are creating work for John Stodaris. Love you, John. All right, did you notice we're getting like faster? All right, no license. Definitely has a README. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we're good. It hasn't been updated since December 2019. That's recent. It's within a year. So let's slap a license on this. And it has a license. All right. 10:57. We've really got to go. Packet block storage is the last one. I am totally chuffed at how many we got through. 9. And we did a couple pull repos. We have definitely worked our happy butts off today. Ooh. Wait, let me show you something. Logo. Oh, that's not annoying. Ooh, I'm going so far back. Okay. Let's stop sharing. Okay. Brand. Look at this. Wait. I know left, right, I swear. That's on my left. This really, I'm really backwards. So this is on my left. Check out these little logos. Yay. This one doesn't show up very well. Kind of shows up. It's kind of there. This is the blue and red and gray. This is the black. Black like my soul. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So my name is Rain Leander. We have streamed today about open source. We've been working on our standards for GitHub repositories. Thanks for joining me today. We try to stream, the mouse in my pocket and I. We try to stream every Wednesday on open source projects and every Wednesday morning on open source projects and every Saturday night on escape rooms. So if you're keen, sign up, subscribe, whatever your jam is. And let me know what you think of that outro video. It actually has the reference to the musician and the song and stuff like that. It's just a minute, short and sweet. I love it. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. and the rest of your week. See you later.